as requested, I'm going to be sharing some of my own Halloween memories. As you can see, I came prepared. I've got this very old thrifted vest that I wear this time of year. It's kind of silly, but I like it. I like it. I hope you like it too. And as usual, for this time of year, I've got all my spooky pillows set up in the back. Well, some of them. I have a lot more than this actually, but it's a good start. Okay, so we'll start with the obvious, right? And that is that as a child, I went trick-or-treating quite a lot. And of course, I loved it. I love candy, I love chocolate, and the thought of just dressing up and going around and getting free candy was obviously a hit for me. So I have a lot of fond memories of trick-or-treating with friends and just hanging out in the neighborhood because it was a good trick-or-treating neighborhood. I was really sad when I had to give it up because I was getting to be a little bit too old. That definitely made me sad, and I remember as a teen, I was hanging out with a bunch of my friends on Halloween night, and I was talking about that. I said, dang, I really wish we could still go trick-or-treating. It was so much fun. Just the nostalgia of it, I was already missing it. And one of my friends at the time was like, well then let's just go. And I thought, it's kind of weird. It might Usually I'm like, wow, that was a really great idea. I love the way you kind of pulled that off. I don't say this to the actors, it's what I'm thinking, or I'll talk about it after the fact. But I like to really immerse myself in that. Some of them, I think, get a little bit too crazy, and there are some that I won't do, like the ones that make you go in by yourself and you have to sign these crazy waivers and they can touch you and pull you and like do weird things with you. Like I would never do one of those types of haunted houses, but your sort of typical run-of-the-mill haunted house or walking trail or hayride, like I love all of that. And so I have videos of reviewing those and talking more about the trails and houses and such that I've been to. So again, if you want to check that out, those I did kind of a while ago, but I don't know, still relevant for today. And yeah, so that's always been a really big part of my childhood and teenhood and adulthood. I still go and do these things. I haven't made it to a haunted house this year. There was just no time for it, but next year I certainly hope to. It's just a lot of fun. And I think the first one I ever went on, it was a hayride. I was like 10, and I was really scared at the time when I was first getting there, but I had so much fun. And that sort of started my interest in it, and it only increased in time. Like as I got older, I had more fun with it, and I love anything that is Halloween themed. If you can't tell, it's like my favorite time of year. It used to be Christmas, and then because there's just so many fun activities with Halloween, it quickly transitioned to being Halloween. So anyway, that's a big part of it for me. And then I think the biggest at this point, this is sort of like a new memory making experience for me that I've done in recent years, is I host a Samhain celebration every Halloween / November 1st. It depends on where it falls and what else I have going on that week. But Samhain, it's spelled Samhain, but it is pronounced Samhain. Is the historic Celtic traditional celebration of Halloween. So we have here our like United States version of Halloween. It's very much consumer based and about buying things and handing out candy and what have you, and that's a lot of fun and I love it still. But the Celtic celebration of Halloween is, in my opinion, a lot more meaningful. And while I don't consider myself Celtic or pagan or Wiccan or any of those things, I do participate in the practice and celebration of Samhain. And so I can tell you what that looks like for us every year. Of course, we invite friends over, people that we feel close to, and kind of create this sacred space. So it's not just anybody. It's typically a very small group of people. And it starts pretty late. Usually we'll start at 9 or 10 at night. Because the main attraction of the evening is the midnight feast. Which is also historically known as a dumb supper. But I have sort of reinvented it into the midnight feast, because in a traditional dumb supper you don't talk during the dinner, and I don't think I have it in me to just sit through an entire dinner and not talk. So we talk, but it's nice because the dinner is very much focused on harvest, vegetables, and fruits, and breads, and it's all plant-based. At least this is season to our end of year, and so it's technically like the new year, welcoming in winter and preparing for like the dark and the death and what have you. I think it's official. I think my mic has given up on me. I think it has given up on me. Midway through this video, I started noticing a very high-pitched humming on my sort of, I use Audacity, that's neither here nor there, but I can watch the audio as I'm doing the voiceover, and I noticed something that looked really off, and I listened back, and there's this crazy humming in the audio now for some reason, and it's not the first time I have noticed that, so either my cable has given up on me or my mic has, and so for now, to finish this video, we are going to do a lo-fi kept whisper. I didn't have too much more to add, but a little bit. I want to make sure that you hear it. So that's what we're going to do, and in the meantime, I'm going to try to figure out this mic situation and hopefully get that squared away sooner than later. I don't know why it's happening. Could just be because it's old. I've got no idea, so anyway, just to finish up the Samhain conversation, they say that during this time, the veil between the two worlds, meaning this life and the afterlife, is when the veil is the thinnest, and so it's your best chance at communicating with loved ones who have passed, with ancestors, with any kind of spirit. So if you believe in that sort of thing, then Samhain is the perfect time to be doing that. And so aside from the midnight feast, we also do this release and receive ritual where we write down things that we want to leave behind in the year, and new energies or goals or things that we want to take on in the coming year. Very similar to like a New Year's Eve activity. And then we also will read little passages about the history of Samhain and all the lore and things like that. Sometimes we'll do tarot and oracle cards. I dress up a nice altar, and I put little memorabilia from past loved ones there, and obviously we decorate, and I pick up flowers, and we make a lot of food and dessert and drinks, and it's just a lovely time to, again, share gratitude for the harvest season and to share any stories that we have. So that's become an annual ritual. It goes pretty late. This year we're doing it from 10 to 2, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And there's a lot of crazy things happening this week, so we're going to be pretty tired, I suspect.